Hey, good morning, everybody. Here we are at Rejuvenate Raw with Kim. I'm here with Luca. Say hi, Luca.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Laura. Hi, guys.
And good morning, Laura.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Luca.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, good to have you guys. We are talking this morning about the opposite of flow, which we've been talking about the last few weeks, how it's important to allow the flow through our body to be able to attain health transformation. So today we're talking about resistance, and resistance is the opposite of the flow. It's, in a sense, a blockage in our body. And anything that blocks does not allow the flow. And when we block the flow, we are heading towards illness rather than towards health. So this is a really important concept when we're wanting to experience health transformation. And when I first started working with Laura, I'm sure she remembers that I had a lot of resistance in my body. I was scared out of my mind, literally, because I had so many outward signs that I was very, very sick. And these, the more I feared, the worse they got. So I had to stop the resistance. And the first step was to become aware of when I was having the resistance. I was so used to resistance being my normal that Laura taught me how to go into meditation to be more in touch with what I was thinking, what I was feeling. And I learned how it felt to put my body in ease and to relax. And when I could feel that difference of my body in ease versus my body in tension, then I could become more aware of when I was experiencing resistance. And, you know, as I went through my day, and I had to be aware of negative thoughts, because negative thoughts create tension, which is resistance. And so I first would have to stop that thought when I became aware of it. And then I had to focus on a thought that made me feel better. So in order to do this, we have to become really aware of how we're feeling with every thought. Because, you know, we think whatever comes into our mind most of the time. And that's mostly thoughts we have thought before, right? So I had to become a very intentional thinker. And most of us are very sloppy thinkers, which is what I just said, thinking about what we've always thought about. So we have to start thinking in a new way that makes us feel more in ease, so our cells can work the way they are designed to work, which is to clean up, repair, and rejuvenate. All right, I'm going to turn this over to Luca now. He probably has a lot to say about resistance, as he also healed his body from some pretty devastating illnesses.
Yes, of course. I can share one of my key moments in the journey where I actually, let's say,
Luca, I think you're frozen.
Finally, I'm frozen.
Laura, shall we go on to you since Luca seems to be frozen?
Am I still frozen?
Oh, there we go. Now you're back. Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna share one of the key moments in my journey where I believe I actually finally broke through the resistance. Of course, It wasn't my planned intention to do it, but it happened in a way where I was in, let's say, first 2-3 months of my journey, and I was experiencing like almost the whole 2-3 months very, very intense detoxification symptoms. Since when I started, I was in a very, very bad chronic state. So I was experiencing a lot of symptoms with like headaches, nosebleeds, like rainbow color diarrheas and stools, burning sensations in the whole colon, like yellowish skin, like itching all over the body. There was a lot of like, you know, very intense physical sensations in every way and form. And you know, it was like since I didn't actually know what I was doing at that point, I literally, only thing that I had was Dr. Morse's videos and his book and blind faith in that sense. And that was the only thing keeping me to move forward, even though like the symptoms were scaring me and I didn't know still what I was doing. I went on because I didn't want to live the way I did before that. I didn't want to live in an old way. So the new way was the only thing that was happening, or I wasn't going to live anymore. And that's what kept me going. And there was one single moment where it was a night and I was going to sleep, and I felt like my body was so exhausted, in pain, burning, in all ways. I was having fever shakes and I was cold and like all of the above. And at one point I just thought to myself, you know what, like, I believe that this is my last day here. Like I'm not gonna wake up. I believe that this is how it feels like when you're dying, in that sense. And I was after that, like, I was actually okay with it. I was okay if I didn't wake up. So I was like, okay. And I actually started smiling at that moment. And with that emotion, I actually fell asleep. And the next morning I woke up, it was a completely different story. My health started to get better and better and better within days, weeks, and the next 3 months, where all of my physical symptoms, in that sense of like my diagnosis, were gone. And that crucial moment where I actually, you know, I was okay with whatever happened. I surrendered. I was no longer in resistance to what is happening, and it skyrocketed me over to a completely different understanding of what's going on, and giving me like another chance to live life completely in a completely different way than I used to before.
Awesome story. Thanks, Luca. All right, Laura, I know you've seen resistance with me, and I'm sure with most of your clients. And you, I'm sure, have so much to tell us about how resistance affects our physical health. Laura, I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
Sorry.
There we go.
Okay, every time we resist, we're creating a block, an energetic block within us, physically, emotionally, and mentally. So every time we feel an unpleasant emotion, we're going to create the chemistry of fight or flight. So every time we resist, we are in fight or flight. And we could be resisting every day of our life, in the accumulation of resisting every day of our life is going to result in a disease or disorder. Could be physical or could be mental. So as I've said all the time, We have to flow even with the things we're not in agreement of. So if something happens, you have to find a way to create an action and keep yourself moving. And an action could be crying, an action could be yelling, an action could be responding in a different way, an action could be learning something, an action could be talking about it. So always keeping the energy flowing. So resisting is creating disorder.
All right. Well, the moral of the story of the day is to not feel resistance and to feel free in a sense. I've had to teach myself to feel as much freedom as possible. And the more I do that, the better I get. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Luca and Laura. And we will be back next Wednesday. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you.